Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SWC Europe Cup pre-show. I'm here, SeanB, so community manager of Come To Us at the Europe office here. And obviously, today we're going to talk about all things SWC related, especially for the Europe Cup that is coming up tomorrow. And of course, you know, like when you talk about SWC Cup, you're gonna have some professional casters, some professional guests coming in. So who better to have with me here at our desk, talk about everything SWC related, as here for us, like SeanB right next to me. Sean, first time in Berlin actually, and even celebrating your birthday here. So how's it been so far?
It's been absolutely amazing. Just Berlin just filling me with different kind of meat at this point. Kebab, schnitzel. It's just amazing.
Well, I'd say welcome to Germany. It's either schnitzel or kebab all the time. Then obviously, so caster, streamer, SWC player, and pro, even a legend in the European field. Obabo is sitting right next to me. So Obabo, you've been here so many times already. So it already feels like Berlin's your second home in terms of SWC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling great. Only difference this time is that this is the first Europe Cup that I'm not playing. So that might be a better experience even, but you also might find me crying somewhere in a corner. But we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Hopefully he's not crying today on cam, but we'll make sure Obabo is having the best of his time here, sitting with us next to us, and also talking about SWC players. Obviously, SWC pro, SWC player for many years already. We have Rex is here, content creator as well. So Rex, same as Obabo, you've been here so many times. How's it been so far for you?
It's been great. It's always a pleasure at the events. Those are the ones why I still play this game. Those I enjoy the most, and that's what you're here for, right?
Exactly. That's what you're here for, and that's why we have you here. So to comment on everything SWC Cup related from a pro directly to you, our community. And last but for sure not least, coming the long way from the US, Apps sitting right next to me here. Apps. So you took the long way from America to fly over to Europe Cup. You said you've been here many times, or several times at least, for the Cups in Paris and Berlin. So what made you come again?
First time I came here, 2022, was fantastic, and at that point I was just I gotta keep coming back. The energy of the community in Europe is just insane. The fact that you go and it's all these people who they come from Twitch chat, people you've seen in game, all this stuff, and then they just all show up, and it's just so good. I just have to.
I can tell you, Apps is pretty much saying exactly what we're experiencing every time we do the cups here. Seeing the people lining up and shouting and screaming and being and so it's such a good mood for SWC. Just that's kind of what we're doing this all for. And obviously talk about SWC. While we're talking about here today with taking the analysis, going to deep dive, we actually do also have raffles for you to win something. For example, we have the Gianna figurine here. We have the chess. Yes, as you can see here right now, we have the chess set right in front of me. You can win that today. So make sure to take a look into our chats. Obviously, but you can also win things and get things in-game. So we have the SWC emblem in-game event for sure. So make sure to gather the SWC emblems by watching all the streams and exchange the emblems for rewards in-game. We also have, starting today actually, we have the SWC scroll event. So you can get the SWC scroll. You can snipe the SWC monster you ever wanted to have. We do still also have the SWC ticket sale for the World Finals in Japan for the first time. So make sure, if you have the chance, take the faraway ride to Japan. Why not? Makes I think that's a really nice trip. And obviously, talking about the merch we are presented here, we also have, to make sure we have you stacked up and everything ready. We're gonna open up the merchandise store as well soon, actually next week already. So you can even, if you don't we're not lucky enough in the stream today, you can take a look at the shops, at the U Shop or the global store next week opening, and you can purchase the chess set here. You can even purchase if you want to for the first time this wonderful Rakan figurines standing right next to me on the right side. If you can wonderful next to Apps. So make sure to pass by next week, soon opening. And now, obviously, talk enough about the actual introduction. Let's move on to our actually first part of today's SWC pre-show. So let's talk about the competition. So the SWC Cup that is happening tomorrow. 2 p.m. CST is the stream start, and we're gonna have a lot of players taking part this year. A lot of famous, like let's say, famous faces, and a lot of new players. So Rax, what do you say? Like, from looking at all the players, what like do you think we're gonna have a pretty equal layout or setup?
So, like from my perspective, how it looks right now, I think like the upper bracket is a bit stronger than the lower bracket. Like, so we have like the first match, which is can easily be like a final, and already was a final back in 2022, Ismo and Pinky. And like my prediction is like whoever wins this first fight will probably win the cup. That's like what I think.
So either Pinky or Ismo is your like your first fight.
I think who wins this one is my favorite in,
Right,
in that case. Yeah.
So Obabo, what do you say? Like as someone who played against pretty much all of them at least once, if not hundreds of times, what do you say? Like who sticks out the most for you?
Yeah, I mean, I was also eyeing the upper bracket the most as well. But then at the same time, I feel like the upper bracket the most as well. But then at the same time, I feel like the lower bracket has most of the like new players. Meanwhile, most of the veterans are at the top side of the bracket. So both sides should be like very interesting in two different ways.
Sean, being an SWC caster actually for the SEA region for like a long time already, like looking at all the European players. I mean, you've been following our streams as well. I saw that. So what's for you? Like,
I think it's going to be so exciting because they are all very strong and each of them has unique LD5 that will brings out a very unique strategy for each one of them as well. So that's going to be very, very exciting. And we have like world finalists in here as well for the very first match. That's going to be so exciting to watch.
and last but not least, apps. So looking at it from a perspective of the American side, obviously you do have strong players over there as well. Mm-hmm. In comparison here to like looking at that roster?
I mean, honestly, this roster is really strong in a lot of ways. Obviously, there's people who are just insanely good in general. Like, you know, your Rosie, your Pinky, like Ismu stuff. Like, to go down to kind of the lower bracket, like, Scribble is like 50-50. You know, if he's hot that day, he's unstoppable, you know, like that kind of stuff. Like Han's super fast. You know, everyone has some kind of thing that's like an edge, and it just depends how it plays out, you know? Like, it's hard to predict, but it's going to be great.
So Apps is predicting Scribble's going to be hot tomorrow.
If he's hot tomorrow,
he's going to win. Obviously, we do have some pretty big changes for this year's SWC, and especially for all the local cups that we're having, starting with the U Cup tomorrow. Looking at the bracket, I think we do see the big changes. So from someone playing in SWC and also playing in the Europe Cup, Obabo, looking at the bracket at the moment and looking like the matchup, so BO5 now, and also third place match. What do you think about those big changes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if there was best of 3, best of 5 for the first round already.
Yes, we actually started like last year. We had best of 3 in the first until like semifinals, and then we started into best of 5.
Yeah, but I think the third place match, that's like the big thing. That was what hyped me up the most.
So why do you think that is? Like because we have another player, or like another chance for a person to go into the World Finals?
I mean, I would say like since it's a straight up 50% increase in how many players get to go to the World Finals, that's like a very big increase, even though it's only one player. But it's one player out of 8, so it's a very big change.
Talking about the best of 5 for all matches now, like do you think it makes it more interesting, like overall for a tournament?
I mean, it makes it more interesting, like in so much as. Obviously, more matches means you have to be more consistent. Like you can't, you know, it's like when it's best of 3, it's like your chance to get, 15%ed out of 1 of 2 matches is, it's there and it happens, right? So like the fact that you have at least, it evens out the RNG and I think it does make it so like the stronger player is more likely to win.
Right. And Sean, like looking at hearing what has been said so far, like if you would been casting the Europe Cup, what do we say about the setup currently?
I think beside what they said, I think having best of 5 straight off in the quarterfinal is great because there have been so many matches where a player win the first 2 and then suddenly they lose 3 in a row. And it just helps with people that have bad RNG instantly. Like they start out getting resisted all the way and now they have a chance to fight again. And when Scribble is hot, he might lose the first 2 and then he gets hot and then he wins 3 in a row. It helps with that.
Or get reverse swept, right?
Yeah, exactly. Suddenly he's not hot anymore.
No. Can all happen.
Impossible.
So, like, talking about the big changes, like this year, actually, we do have 3 players who make it into the World Finals. That is also a big change for all the cups. That means also for the World Finals, we're going to have more matches because more players are going to qualify. And also, I think it's a good idea overall to give more chances to the players? Because we all know, especially Rax and especially Obabo, how much energy and how much effort you have to put into like qualifying for SWC, preparing all your matches, going through the strategies, re-ruining like all the time until, I mean, I've been seeing you re-ruining your monsters until right before you had a match, you know? So I think overall that can pretty much make the difference, right? So we now know the big changes of the cup itself, but at the moment we also know that there is like the current meta that is existing. At the moment, I think we're not wrong if you say the current meta exists of Zagar, Chandra, and also I think Velajul, right?
And Hey Gang.
And Hey Gang,
Yeah.
right?
You can't forget the most important one.
So like, looking at the current meta that we're having, like looking at those monsters, do you see that in Europe Cup this time we're gonna like have the straight follow-up with all the like meta at the moment, or do we actually kind of expect some switch of a meta, like people trying to actually do different strategies?
So I think we definitely will see that, like just because all the different boxes from the 8 players we have in the cup right now, like everyone has like some unique and specific LDs to them and like some specific playstyle they usually follow up on if they're allowed to, if they're not the key units are pre-banned. But like if like key units getting pre-banned, like probably like what they're gonna rely on then is probably like the meta units, right? Chandra, Saga, Vela, Hey Gang. That we will definitely see a lot of those units for sure, and also in the pre-bans for sure, almost guaranteed.
Sean, looking at all those matches and commenting like yourself for like such a long time, and like even for the prelims, right? What is your take on the current meta, and what do you actually also see in, like from other countries or from other territories?
Yeah, I think the meta is very defined, and a lot of people are just trying to play the meta so that they can win. But also for other region, actually, other stuff kind of showed up. Not sure because it's good against the meta, or it's just the region being trying new things. Like for I think Japan qualifier, then we saw a lot of Nana, we saw a lot of just damage dealer. Or for China qualifier, then we have the ex-world champion just starting his new own meta with Okeanos and Barbara, which kind of shock a lot of people. And because if you go with things like Barbara, you can be faster than the slower bruiser meta, then you get an edge over them. And if you play something new, then people are not prepared for, and you can also surprise and shock them right on the match itself.
So, Apps, what do you say? Like what Sean said, like maybe your best bet is to actually surprise your opponents to get the upper hand. Would you say like that's the way to go, especially if you want to compete in the World Finals later?
I mean, so it is, but the biggest problem with that, like as a sort of a general thing, is that if you like there's thousands of matches per day and everyone's playing this meta, and apparently it's like no one is publicly showing like a good counter to that meta. So like you even if you have a good counter to it, it may still make a lot of sense to be drafting at least pieces of it to stop your opponent from getting those. So I mean, especially things like Chandra with the speed lead, like I feel like even if you have a good counter to like Velajul Cigar, you're probably still going to potentially be trying to steal the Chandra and fit it into your strategy, like because I mean he still has a slow and it's the strongest debuff in the game. So it's like so yes, I expect people will have counters. Like you're probably going to see a lot of like Sekhmet style like single target strips on like high base, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I guess, yes, you will, but at the same time, people have to take those pieces away. So you're going to see both.
Right.
Probably the winner is going to have some kind of a merging of a counter and playing the meta as well.
So, Babu, like we talked about, like just coming up with new strategies, but why do you say, especially for the viewers that might not be following like all the prelims and SWC and all RTA like super in depth, like maybe tuning in for like the second time they watch a tournament, like why are especially those 3 units, which is like we just heard like a couple of times, Chandra, Zagar, and Velajul, why are actually those so essential at the moment? Why are they like in all the picks?
I mean, I would say it's because they can like easily go into different styles of play, so they feel pretty safe to pick. But that's also I think because from the European prelims and stuff, I feel like we didn't see that crazy of a prio in some matchups where there was more like speed centric, and I think we're definitely going to see more of that in the lower side of the bracket where they're not so heavily contested, whereas they might actually be more picked on the upper side when they're playing more bruiser matches. But yeah, I would say it also depends heavily on the day, like depending on how confident the players feel. Because if you're not feeling as confident, then you're probably like defaulting to the meta and like picking the more like bruiserish units. So So I think that's gonna play a big part as well.
So before actually, or anybody's like,
Yeah, like I would like to add like what Obabo just said, right? If you're not confident, like if you're just not feeling it right now, like defaulting to these units because they are so strong right now and dominant, like, that's probably, that's going to be the thing to do. Like if you just come up with some random stuff, like probably defaulting to the meta units will be better for you in that case, right?
Yesterday, actually, when we were like yesterday, we had a welcome party with all the players being on side. Like, so I talked to several people, right? And we like talked to also like players that potentially were trying to like compete and to get in the rankings. And some of them actually said like, I've been trying out too many comps to counter like different styles and not really relying on the meta too much. So they're like, that's kind of like the reason they didn't qualify. But also, sometimes we actually see the total opposite picks that totally surprised everybody. Maybe like a 2-2-2 like in the prelims.
Yeah.
Like people celebrated him like going crazy, with Bayek for example, right? Yeah. So before we actually talk about the meta a bit further, especially when like doing a small show match between Rax and Obabo, we actually do have our first raffle, which we promised you to have. So our first raffle is our wonderful SD Gianna figurine, coming also with an in-game code. And to take part, please open up your chat. Either you're joining in SeanB's stream on YouTube or Obabo's stream on Twitch. Our moderator is going to post a link to take part in our raffle, and we're going to announce the winner in a couple of minutes when we're like actually done with the actual match.
Yeah.
So I think Rax, you want to kick it off?
Let me get into the room. I think you can also already join Obabo, right? The room should be there, I think. Yes, it's still here.
So overall, like right now, like Obabo and Rex gonna do it like a show match, kind of like showcasing what we just discussed in all the meta, and Apps and Sean gonna commentate over it. I'm gonna lean back and enjoy the show.
You can search for Obo, then you find it.
Oh, you need to wait a second.
Mine is fine, right?
You need to open up and start. Okay, we're gonna be in one now.
I think Obabo is like the least meta person.
Is he?
I mean, he didn't play that much meta thing when he was
He's
in
an
prelim.
abuser.
So every viewers were so mad that he was like, "What is Obabo doing? Where's the meta
Because
stuff?"
the brain's not big enough. You can't tell what he's doing. He's always 3 steps ahead.
Roasted.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You're gonna sit right next to him right now.
No. I'm saying his brain's too big. The Twitch chatter doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh damn! Like he's the trickster. He's like
Yeah.
he just knows the stuff no one else does.
I mean, that's how you set the meta. If it's not meta till someone plays it.
True.
I mean,
Not
at least
wrong.
I'm gonna pick meta units now, right, to showcase what we're probably gonna see tomorrow. A little bit.
I think you're in the.
Yeah, I requested.
Okay. Now the match starting soon.
There we go.
Exactly. There we go. Obviously,
Pre-ban.
For proper reasons, we're gonna showcase like the proper pick what those two are going to be doing. Hopefully, you're not going to watch the screen.
No. Let's stare him down a bit. What he's gonna do? I'm gonna try to figure out.
That's what you also do on stage, right? When you stare down on the opponent to make sure he's like getting super nervous.
What is he banning?
He's psyching him out. He already did it. So
I mean,
I didn't see it. I didn't look at the screen.
I think Lest actually was doing that one of the World Finals where he was like putting the ban and then it was looking like this at the opponent.
Okay, you know what?
right
After he
through
picked.
him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
respect it. I didn't look at your ban, so
Oh, wait, is it Obabo
Ooh.
have Doman? No, right?
No, I don't.
I think he clicked the wrong color.
no. It's definitely the right one.
Yeah.
We have
So banning Veljul. I mean, obviously that's get rid of the meta immunity. That seems like a pretty standard thing. That typically means you're probably relying on like wind strippers. So we may see a cigar. I mean, obviously Obabo likes Ethna, so like we may see an Ethna coming out.
So we're seeing that Water Twin Angel being also very meta instead of Chandra because a lot of SWC player have insane Swift rune and that allow them to play this unit in particular because it allow a lot of different things to go first, strip into defense break and one shot very, very quickly instead of relying on Chandra, who's more of a slower play. So you see a lot of Water Twin Angel because they pair it pairs well with like Han, Julian, that kind of thing, and a lot of SCBC player enjoy those unit and one shot the enemy is better than just pray for violent procs. You see that more often.
Yeah, Vanessa or the Water Twin Angel kind of fills the same role that Vanessa does, like whenever you're playing a turn one strategy, which is like the strip into armor break, but doesn't have the like Vanessa always feels kind of bad, especially when you're going first turn because she's end of the day kind of a defensive unit. So Water Twin Angel provides like all this extra utility and offensive
I have to
capability.
do it, right?
You have to.
I have to do it, right? Arta's the best unit in the game.
Come
I said
on,
it.
To show off.
I think this is what a lot of people do is that they pick the meta. So you see Chandra Cigar and the LD is going to be the one that makes the player unique. So if you use your LD right, and it will make an entirely different team. So what he's doing is he's trying to counter the enemy because Obabo is critting a lot with multi-hit from Water Twin Angel, with Fire Bayek, with Sony is critting a lot. But in other region, you will see different LDs that fit in right that slot to make an entirely different team, even though it's also Chandra Cigar. So, wow.
Incredible.
I'm acting surprised because I see his YouTube video already. You know, like I've seen that already, but like,
acting
oh my god, win Bayek! Whoa!
And also like the SeanB pick is actually I'm not really sure I 100% understand the SeanB pick other than the fact that it makes Hagang kind of feels bad because he's going to get a lot of healing off of it. But I mean. SeanB is kind of nice and defensive here because like Rax's draft overall is actually sort of like low pure damage. Obviously, like he's not hitting for a ton. He's like got debuffs and like manipulation, but it also kind of implies the SeanB ban whenever you pick when you pick Volantis. SeanB's definitely leaving the game.
So right here we can see that Obabo is being more aggressive, and that's one of the more popular way to deal with the meta is just to, if you snipe up one unit very quickly, like if Cigar die right now, I think Obabo just kind of win instantly, and he almost killed a Cigar, but it usually is the way people trying to take down the meta comp just to snipe the Cigar as quickly as possible, and it happened.
But don't count him out because I mean Chandra can still take a game over, and. And since he banned SeanB, like Volantis is actually kind of oppressive. So I mean,
so unfortunately in the SWC mode you can pre-ban Velaju, but for a normal person that play day to day, they have to deal with Velaju, and that's where you have like healing that showed up here instead of like the Hagang. So. I think the Fire Bayek has also become very, very popular, and also the meta compared to the Velaju because it also does what Velaju does, which is like a bit of cleanse, damage, defense break, but it's just more aggressive. And Obabo might be losing here. Might be.
I mean, he still has 2 Bayeks. I mean, anyone who watches his stream has seen this thing happen. Yeah. Like there's so much utility. Like I mean, it's just heavy bruisers that do like. I mean, it's not true damage, but being able to just sort of like passively put on the conditions and like whittle them down because he doesn't have any sustain. So like, every time something goes on, it's going to be a little bit more damage. And then he has 2 units to sustain on his side. So I mean, like, it doesn't take much for him to just sort of like, get too much of an edge if the game continues long enough.
And here we're also witnessing the power of Volantis here because even though, as Apps mentioned that. Rax's team didn't have a lot of damage, but the dot damage from Volantis actually did a lot of work on Obabo's team because if he get a bit more despair stun, Obabo would probably be down by now because he can't heal with the other 2 unit. But it's actually getting a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you can't mess with the Bayeks. Like they're surprisingly good. Like not even surprising. Obviously, we've seen Fire Bayek, and then the Wind Bayek is like. The Obabo special, like no one else is really doing Wind Bayek at the moment.
2-2.
2-2.
That's what I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
But nobody is doing Wind Bayek alone because usually you have to pair Wind Bayek with like a Nora or a Bella for some dot. But Obabo's out here being a Giga Chat and just like I'm just gonna Wind Bayek,
and in the end, the game was won by procs.
Whoa!
It is what it is.
I think we can go on for another round, right?
If only he had an LD Bayek to draft with these.
Yeah, I mean, sadly,
Me having LDs, you know?
No.
Oh, you mean him?
We're
Okay.
talking about Salah.
yeah, sadly got binned for the Water Twin Angel just before, like 5 minutes before we started.
Rex checking out his LD box.
Is this my LD box? Really? I'm searching for this broken unit. This one.
Oh.
Yeah, Sonya, especially if you can rune a Sonya really well. Sonya is also like just the strength of that unit is just off the charts. Like obviously a lot of people are drafting or like making anti-Sonya units and then specifically trying to bait it out and stuff. But it's even so, it's like you can't rune every unit as an anti-Sonya. And if you have a good intuition as to the one that's not, it's like 3v4 from turn 1 on a unit that requires no setup is wild.
Yeah, I think Sonya is one of those units that just changed the way people rune unit entirely on ladder. That's pretty crazy. For just one single unit, that suddenly defense rune value just sky high.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because like the last time that happened was basically Douglas, except that everyone was mad at Douglas because it felt like RNG and unfair. Where Sonya's like it's like a hard stat check. I mean, where Douglas kind of was too, but at the same time, like no one was ruining high attack. Everyone was running, HP defense, additional damage, efficiency bruisers. And then now it's like, oh, there's like half the strippers in the game you can't even play because Douglas exists. And Sonya has kind of that effect as well.
All right, so as you can see on the screen right now, we're having a lot of RGB unit, which is currently the meta for RTA in general as well. And we can see Obabo is mixing a turn 1 high base unit with triple Vire unit, which is usually the way a lot of people draft as well. Because if you don't have a high base speed unit, you just instantly kind of give turn 1 to the enemy. And Rax, instead of trying to fight speed, he's just going straight turn 2, which is also very good because Obabo lack a lot of healing. So Automel and the now very popular healer, the wind pudding thing, Angela? Was that
Yeah,
the
I
name?
think it is Angela.
yeah.
I just call it the wind pudding thing. Yeah.
The wind thing that's very annoying. The wind raccoony.
Yeah.
It is very, very annoying nowadays.
And Rex is also showing off a pretty typical sort of like what I would consider almost like a baseline RTA draft, like in 2024, which is you pick 3 like sort of like main strategy like offensive picks. So in this case, he has a stripper. He has Ciara to follow up with damage. He has Veligul who can also strip. It's sort of like a pseudo sustain. And then once you see what their strategy is, you switch to like this hard turn 2, where now you either you can either ban one of my main strategy or. And then you still have to deal with 2 pseudo RNG like turn 2 units, or you can ban the one of those that's the most annoying, and then you get the full brunt of like my primary strategy. And that's a really, really strong way to play, and has been actually since probably for the last year and a half or so. Like it's at one point you could just force turn 1 all the time, but.
Yeah, so here you see Automel, but I think on the ladder you probably see Ragdoll, which is more popular compared to Automel. And as you can see, the turn 1 is favoring Obabo because he drafted that way. But whether he can finish his opponent right now, because if you kill Ciara, the damage potential from Rax is just going to be super low. That is very hard to even finish off one of the enemy target. And that's the way a lot of people play, is just to see where the damage is and snipe it pretty much immediately. And that give you the edge instantly in the match. And he switched target here.
Yeah, I mean the Fire Bake is going to kill Ciara either way, so he's just trying to stop, the weight of that Veligul after this first turn. But I mean Veligul's just going to proc, so.
Resisted and stunned. It's doomed.
Oh, actually no, he didn't even need to proc because.
And that's where you need best of 5.
Which we do have now at the Europe Cup, right?
So I think it's getting like, it feels a bit like Siege, because Siege is also like, if I snipe a unit, and then it's like, I win. So here's like, I snipe a unit, and then I kind of win kind of thing, because the other 3 unit doesn't do damage. So targeting is actually a skill, very important in RTA, that people just don't really care about. It just kind of hit randomly and spread the damage all out. But because Obabo know that Ciara is going to be the main damage, he killed that, and now he can play more confidently because he know that whatever Rax is trying to do, it will not really amount to anything.
I mean, I actually should have picked triple rev word. Would have been free as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm not gonna pick that unit. I hate it.
Yeah.
Now we can't win this. Let's give up. GG's.
GG.
I mean, it was only because of the Arna bans. Otherwise,
Exactly. Bent my
Done.
best unit. I have no chance without Arda. It is what it is.
Arda's insane. Do you run it? Well, actually, I won't even ask. I'm not going to ask how you run it because it's like, so the one thing that's been interesting recently, specifically about Arda, is like sort of the high speed Ardas. Because it used to be everyone ran like, you'd rune like a 220 super high defense, like damage Arda, and they just hope to like RNG people out. But there's actually been a pretty.
Oh, I mean, I can even show it if people want to see it. Like,
there's been a pretty strong like push towards like a faster Arda, so that with a couple crits, it'll cut turns on whatever they're doing, and then he can get that heal off because the heal's like, big, it adds defense and all that. So it's actually like sort of it's a less RNG way of playing Arda that actually has been having a pretty big effect recently. Although not too many people running it, but the people who do.
yeah, for people if they want to see it, like if you can share my screen, then the people can see how I run the Arta right now.
I
And
think if we can share Rex's screen,
The number one Arda.
the number one artist.
Best art in the
yeah,
EU.
and then
see Obabo rolling
Yeah,
On the job.
That's a thick Arda right there.
yeah, that's like this since they increased like his S2 and buffed it like to 2-turn cooldown. Like I think it's way better just to drop the rest because Arda is most of the time never gonna get focused first, and like it's you get turns so quickly and then always can pump out like the 30% heal every 2 turns, and like he still has great damage. And also if you get CC, the speed really helps to just not be stuck in one and never get out of it again. I think at the moment he's pretty underrated.
Yep.
So after we've seen like a current meta RTA match, which obviously Obabo had the upper hand, clear win, moving up to the next stage. I think it's about time to like lighten up the mood a bit because we prepared a small quiz event. But before we go on to the quiz, we actually have the first winner of our raffle here. So.
Guess who it is?
Guess who it is? We're going to contact the winner next week via email. So I think
It's Klo Heizung.
No way.
Oh my
No way.
It is Klo Heizung.
Rigged.
There you
No
go.
rig. This is not real.
Oh, this one, Klo Heizung.
That's a joke.
Klo Heizung? Yeah.
No way.
I have no idea what that
It's a
means.
German guy, known in the German community. And he wins again.
The best G3 cleaver.
Only ever beats me because he doesn't run well runes. Everyone remember that.
So congratulations to the heater in the toilet, and and then let's move on to our actual next part, which is actually a fun quiz. So we're gonna test out the knowledge of our wonderful guests here. So to check out if they know the ins and outs of our wonderful monster roster. So we're gonna do this wonderful By the way, in the chat, please, or for you that are watching, please don't be surprised. We're gonna test out. We're gonna activate our buzzers now. So, guys, you're gonna need to take your buzzers. You're gonna wait until it's green, and then you press it again. And wait a second. Yeah, now it's working. And you have to press once more, Rex, and wait until it's green, and now you press.
Yes, works.
So wonderful. So we can actually jump to the wonderful first question. By the way, this is all a monster you're going to see. Whoever presses the button first, we stop the time, you're going to answer. So, where is that part of the picture belonging to? Again, this is a monster from the chat. Maybe you know your stuff, you know the monsters ins and outs. Don't make it too easy for the guys here.
Wait, a month?
It's going to be a monster.
bay.
So, we're going
The bay.
to Yes.
What?
Wait, was it right?
Yeah,
Wait, really?
Well, it's like
I think it is.
Tibbe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, but I was not.
But that's
Isn't
the
that,
necro boss.
isn't that the like
It's
skin?
on his staff,
No, it's
right?
monsters. It's
Yeah,
all
I think
monsters.
it's, I think it's
It's
skin
on
for
his-
the base.
it's on his-
Oh,
it's
it's
on
on
his
the
top
staff.
of the staff.
It's
Okay.
honest. So it's correct
Okay, it
answer.
worked anyway.
It's correct answer, and we're gonna give the first 10 points to Obabo, knowing his stuff from the game because obviously he is gonna play him and all the time.
I mean, GZ the Bay. Soon.
Oh no, he's cursed.
That's
him.
fine.
Oh.
Oh, Sean is like, oh, I knew that. I just gave the point. Oh no!
Bearman, right?
Yes. That is Bearman.
It
That
lagged.
is-
It lagged.
Oh yes, of course.
It lagged.
And
No.
another point, another 10 points. Go to Obabo, guys. Make your hands go ready for the buzzer. You need to be fast with this guy here. Look at that. Sean is ready to press the button like just whenever. So I'm on. Like that's the correct answer. Next round. Next question. Which monster is that? Easy one, guys. Easy one.
Hey gang.
That is the wrong answer.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, so Apps is out for this round. So who can make it? Oh, who could have guessed? Obabo is next.
Blacksmith.
No,
No?
that's not the case. And Obabo's out. So Sean, this is your chance. Clock is ticking again.
no
Rax.
clue.
What the heck is that?
I have no clue.
So,
Is that a hint?
okay, guys. I give you a hint. A chubby one.
Oh,
Huh?
it's
Sorry, you're blocked. Well,
I mean,
Is it a Viking?
no, it's not. A bit bigger than the Viking.
Bigger?
Jongnam.
yes.
Oh, and 10 points go to Raxus because he obviously just waited until everybody's out to just take the point.
Of course.
Wait for the hint.
Oh, this is hard though. I like, yeah.
I mean, you knew it obviously, right? So
No, after the hint, yes. After, but not before.
we have Obabo being in the lead with 20 points, following up with Raxus and Sean Apps waiting for their return. We have more questions to go. Let's go with the next one. Easy, I'd say, for you as a specialist. Okay, looking at App's face at the moment, he's like, what the hell?
Trying to remember.
Huh?
I think this is tricky.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's a fire monster.
Nice too. I have no clue.
I think it's Ken, but the free-to-play version.
No, it's not.
No, it's not the Ken.
Unfortunately. So Obabo is out, guys. This is your chance. You waited until the lead is out.
No, I'm not gonna press. I don't know.
Take your chance, guys. Oh, time is running. Oh,
Final. Fire monkey.
no. Unfortunately not. Correct element.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Where? On the
arm.
Yes. on the, I mean, obviously, that's what you see first, right? When you look at the unit.
Yeah, of course, because you're looking for it. Yeah.
So next.
Oh shit! No,
Next
no.
monster.
I've seen this before. Fuck.
Sean knows it. Sean has just nearly there. Rex, don't wait for Sean to answer.
What does it look so familiar?
Puppeteer.
No, it's
No.
not. Not kind of like from the topic, maybe from the theme closer.
A lich?
No, also not. But you're getting there. From the topic of the monster, it's getting pretty close, like in terms of, undead kind of style.
If this is literally on a skeleton warrior, I'm going to be so angry.
It's a bit patched up, I'd say.
I don't know.
Okay. And
Oh.
patched up. And no one got the answer.
How?
Too hard. It is. Hey, patched up. Come on, guys. Like, what
yeah,
else should
yeah,
I
true.
say?
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking it, but at the same time, I didn't remember that being on there.
Me neither.
So Driller, it was. So I mean, hey guys, you're gonna have enough chances. We're at now the sixth question. So the sixth monster we have to find who it is.
Light dryad.
That could be right.
Kind of like close, but not correct. I'd say in terms of art style or monster style, it's kind of like hitting the right direction.
I think it's String Master.
No.
No?
No. Let's go more cutesy. Sean is like
Jammy.
More cutesy.
more cutesy. Okay,
I mean, it's more
Sean,
cutesy.
it doesn't have a awakened name.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't have an awakened name.
So it's a collab monster.
No.
Doesn't have an wait. Doesn't have so it's a 2-star silver. Huh?
Cute. Silver.
No. It's in a silver star unit. He said it doesn't have an awakened name. But like.
Well, if I tell you more, it's just then too easy. I'll just give you the points.
I don't think anyone gets it right.
Okay.
A frog?
Yeah, exactly. No, unfortunately, that's the wrong answer.
Devilmon. It's a Devilmon.
It's a Devilmon. Yeah, of course, we know the Devilmons have flowers in their hairs, right? Obviously, it's the homunculus. Oh, damn, you didn't see it. I mean, everybody's counting the flowers on their hair,
So
right?
I have a question now for
Yeah.
you. If I said Raxus, that's how my homunculus is named. Would I be right?
Well, if you would have been the last one and you had used
Wait,
that
is that-
answer, you would have been right.
but I
Yes.
didn't know.
Wait, is that the transmogged one though?
That's the Chrome
I've
transmog
been all the
of the 10-year anniversary one. This
Oh.
the most recent, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, now we got transmogs in there too.
Of course, hey guys, you got the monsters in and out, right?
No.
So let's go to the
Apparently.
let's go to the next one.
Dark Shadow Claw.
Yeah.
Or Shadow, whatever that thing is. The kid.
It's
with
not.
the-
It's so close, but it's not the right family. Okay, there we go. So unfortunately, not right.
Is it not? I thought they had that
Huh?
weird thing in there.
So
did you
okay, I'll give you a hint. It came out at the same time.
What?
If I'm not fully
You
mistaken.
said Dark Shadow Claw. What even is that?
The kid with the claw.
Yeah. Dark.
Like dark hypnomel.
Exactly.
Oh, wait,
Points
really?
go to SeanB because he knew
This
it
is on
from
the-
the start.
This is on a Hypnomeow? What?
Yeah, that's the dark meow. Like the small
Oh.
part of the. Come on.
Of course.
Of course. See? Sean knew it. Like,
Obviously.
obviously.
I think the Shadow Claw.
he knew
or the
from
Yeah,
Shadow
that was a
Claw,
really
he
good
also
guess.
has the thing on his hair. Though.
I think
Yeah,
you knew
yeah,
from the
it
point
is.
when you said it came out the same time. Oh, it's the fat cats.
Hey,
Took me a while to get the name. Like, what was the cat name?
It's Bombay, right?
it's Bombay, exactly. Yes. So we have 4 to go.
I'm going for the lowest score.
Oh, come on, guys. Oh, Sean was the fast.
Wait, actually, I don't
it's a
know
hard
what
one.
it is.
This is a hard one. Ooh.
Wait, it's a hard one?
No.
Lucian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Full points. Hey, we have to squeeze, make it a bit nicer. So Sean is going to move up in its ranks. So it is Lucian. Who could have guessed? And actually without a transmog.
Oh.
Sean.
That is correct. Even with the awakened name, Sean, obviously. So the horn was easier, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So we figured we're going to start hard and we're going to
Oh, no. now
smooth
we just
things up
gotta
at
be
the end.
ready. Gotta be ready.
But the start ones were hard, for sure.
Okay, guys. Are you ready? Last two.
Ciara?
No, not
No.
Wonderful eyes, though, but not Sarah. I think Sarah doesn't have, blue eyes, right?
Praha?
Does she? No.
Wait, you need to get the name too?
Well, but we can also work with the family. It's fine.
Wait.
Wait. So it's the Rox is not correct. Bra is incorrect.
Oh.
Wait a second, Sean. And
Camilla?
also not Camilla. Let's say in the rankings, way more below in terms
Okay, I mean, since I have the last guess anyways, maybe a Magic Knight.
which one?
Wait, it has to be which one? Okay, I mean, I guess Lapis then.
Yes,
You have the blue.
exactly.
Okay.
It is Lapis. Water Magic Knight.
Nice.
Obabo knew it from the beginning. He just
Yeah.
wanted to give you a chance. As we said, it's going to go more easy as time goes on. Lapis. So we have the all-deciding question now. Last question, last monster. So that's a hard. Ooh,
No.
Light Twin Angel.
exactly. Do you know the awakened names?
No. Not offhand. It's like, I think one of them starts with a G. You have to remember
It's
two
something
names.
like Miruel.
Ramael and Julia.
No, that's,
Yeah.
that's water.
No, that's
though.
water, no?
He said light.
Oh, I said
Oh, he
light.
said light. Oh,
He's
right.
wrong.
Oh, he's wrong.
Bonus question time.
Oh,
Point for the
damn.
technicality. He said yes.
No, it's fine. The family is okay.
The family is fine.
Yeah.
We had the family before. Yeah. So family's right. Of course, we need to give apps a few points here to catch up.
I just wanted to not be negative.
So the quiz is over. Who is going to be our first winner?
Oban, right?
Obabo saying dips, yes, and
even on
Obabo
the
won
chart.
the question round. Followed up by Rax and SeanB just letting the others win. And Apps, you have been not negative, so mission solved. Obviously, we promised you guys before we're gonna give you a legendary scroll. That's a nice prize, but we're just not gonna have it for the in-game. That would be too lame. So we're gonna give you a wonderful legendary scroll. Actually, one of the rarest items we have at the moment at the office. We
Oh, they
produce
don't
it.
make these anymore.
They don't make them these anymore.
There's an LD5 inside. Oh,
So,
what?
there is an LD. Exactly, there is. You're laughing. There is.
We need the camera focus.
You just need to understand what kind of LD.
Ah.
Yeah, see here. Don't look at my rings and my arms. Just look at this wonderful piece of merchandise here. So, and obviously, as you can see, it's not a scroll. This is like a small, wonderful
Oh, that's
USB stick.
Oh.
That's
So
cool.
I don't think you have that yet, right?
I don't think so, no.
Yes, so prize for the winner of the quiz with the
Very
best
nice.
Summoners War monster knowledge.
Yes.
Congrats to you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So, thank you everyone. I hope you at home had a chance to like guess the right monsters. I guess we have people out there who knew exactly after one second what monster was what. Like the other ones here, like just wanted to give everybody a chance. But now with the detour in the small monster quiz, we're gonna go back to the SWC player analysis because obviously we shortly talked about it in the beginning. Rax mentioned like we're gonna have the first like real finals, kind of like as the first match of the show. But those finals are obviously played by all the players who made it into the Europe Cup. So we're gonna have a deep dive and a look at each player from the Europe Cup, the 8 players that made it into the finals. I think we could actually start with the first player who's obviously gonna be Pinkroyd. So guys, looking at what we can see here, what do you make out of Pinkroyd? Starting because Rex, you're gonna like check at the highlights soon. So we're starting with Sean. What do you say?
Besides the fact that he's hot, he also has been in the most world final out of all the players here, I
Right.
think. So he's the most experienced in SWC and probably one of the most known best drafter in the game as well.
So we can see here a small highlight from the prelims. Rax, you want to say a few words? Because occasionally your name is on here.
Yeah, this was like the third game of our set. And I have to say I was quite a bit tilted because like my first 2 drafts were way better than this one. And I just didn't pick too well here and kind of got outdrafted. And then obviously lost the match. But honestly, it's not a shame to lose to Pinkroyd.
So why would you say like what makes Pinkroyd so strong? And actually, if we can go to the Pinkroyd screen, the player screen before again to watch at that before the highlight video would be nice. What makes Pinkroyd so strong? I think we can also take that from this picture here.
So what makes him so strong is like he's probably one of the best drafters in the entire game because like he has such good adaptation to like whatever he's going to face in the draft and has like always a good answer and always finds them and mostly doesn't struggle and fucks up the draft by himself. So I think that's about it. He adapts very, very well and like probably better than most of the other players, and that's what it makes him so strong, I think.
What apps like? What do you say? Like looking at Pinkroyd from like probably all the matches, also in the past, knowing him from the cups and seeing him win the European Championships. Like, would you pick him as the favorite again? Obviously,
So I still have him winning, like in my personal selection. I think it's going to be a little harder potentially this year than it had been previously. But I mean, betting against him, I think like. You know, if you're playing just expected value, like what's the highest odds? I think he's still number 1. I mean, I think there's a good argument for some of the other players though. But I think if you're just being objective, I mean, he's won it how many times? He's went how far? How many times?
Yeah.
You know, like that's a good resume. You know,
there's a reason why. So Obabo, like since you kind of like you also prepared like probably for prelims to potentially be matched against Pinkroyd, like why do you think like this year is he gonna like rule it all again, or like you think, hey, like this year we saw potentially some struggle or some downsides or something that other players could like use to overpower him?
I mean, I wouldn't say we have seen him struggle that much yet, but he definitely has his cut work out for him now in the cup, being on that upper side of the bracket, which I think is very stacked. But yeah, I would have to agree with Upsa. Like, he is the most consistent player out of all of them, so like you would have to give him props for that.
Then, well, obviously we already know that Pinkroyd, being the favorite, is also going to play in the first round again against Ismo. So Ismo, being the German hero, already like being in qualified for the World Finals a while ago. Now with less hair than before, though. for the people, like for the players watching what we're talking about, so like he actually lost the bet in the prelims. If he loses against Scribble, what it was right, like 3-0, he's gonna shave his beard and his hair.
Yeah, exactly.
He actually did that, and he told me like his children and his wife never saw him like that, so they were just laughing. So it's pretty funny, but nevertheless, that doesn't make him any less of a good player.
No.
So Sean, like looking at Ismo and also like knowing his matches from the past, what are his strengths?
I think Ismu wide variety of LD5 definitely helps a lot, but also his rune quality is absolutely insane. Seeing just a bit of his rune just kind of blew my mind away at how good the runes are. So if we put Ismu and Pinkroy on the scale, and if Ismu draft just as good, then maybe he will have the edge over Pinkroy in terms of the rune quality and the unit selection available to him.
So I actually talked to Ismo yesterday during dinner, and he said like he has been so prepared to fight against Pinkroy, considering that like last year when Ismo and Pinkroy already faced off again, it was a 3-0. Ismo still has like a really strong chance, and there's a reason. Like you all said when we had like our talks before the stream, you all said like this is really the real final actually of the cup already starting in the first match. Why do you say that is, Rex?
So I think, like as we talked about Pinky, why is he so strong? And then we have Ismo, and I think Ismo, if he plays well, which he obviously can, he is like the strongest account by far. Like in terms of LDs, in terms of runes, in terms of box, in terms like in like all kind of aspects. Like he has the strongest account in EU right now, and if he uses this to full ability, then I think like he is even a favorite for that match, and then the favorite to win the cup. Because, like, yeah, he also says that himself. The biggest enemy is himself in this. Like, if he does well, then he will win it.
So
that's what I believe.
So you would say it's really going to be decided in the pick and ban already. Like,
yeah. That will play like a huge role.
Right. Then obviously, it's not about. We talked about like being the first match, being the first final, but it's not all about this one match here. So there is more players to come and actually equally strong. You would say. The next one in line is actually Roseth, making a return after like I think it was 2 or 3 years of a break, being the SWC Europe champion in 2019, making it to the World Finals at the time, and I think being third placed together with Baus at the time, I think. So Obabo, I mean, you obviously played Rosette as well for a couple of times already. You've been together in the tournaments. What do you say about Rosette, looking at his profile and also potentially looking at the highlight reel?
I mean, I think this year, like usually when I've been thinking about Rose's place and everything, I've thought of it as being pretty static. But after also facing him and seeing his match against other people, I feel like he's been pretty flexible this year compared to other years. So I think that's going to be play a big part depending on how he adapts to the opponent. So I think he actually has a pretty good shot in both the first round and in the upper bracket, depending on how the day goes.
So, Abs, looking at the highlight at the moment, we're going to see here. Like, is that already like playing a big role in like how we can expect Rose to play?
Yeah, I mean, like the main thing you can take away from like this highlight as an example is that he's playing sort of like a blended turn 1, turn 2 like reactive style, and especially being able to like heavy draft ragdoll, like to sort of like force like the turn efficiency kind of stuff. Like, I mean, it's just a really strong style, and then there's not a whole lot of like super obvious counters to it. So, I mean, yeah, like it does inject sometimes like more RNG into a given match, but the fact that he's not drafting like purely Luxac units, you know, like he's a super strong player and he's drafting this other stuff that will give him an edge like in like a longer draft while still having like an aggressive edge at the beginning is just a really strong play style.
I think what I've heard actually by now, Rose out of all European players has the strongest LD box with over 35 LDs at the moment. So there's a strong LD roster to pick from. I'm not sure what you said yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean it gives him the upper hand, right? You just need to pick it. But like I think with his comeback, no one actually really saw him coming except for if you're really into RTA. Everybody kind of like had him on the moment he said he's going to come back. Everybody had him on the papers, right?
Yeah, and he's also like kind of, I don't know if well known's the right way to say it, but like he's one of those like late season climbers who'll just like sort of appear out of nowhere, and then he's like, oh, now he's just G3, like without trying. It feels like without trying. I'm sure he's putting a lot of work into it, but
it just flies to him.
Yeah.
I can tell you like he was like sweating a lot to get qualified, because it really was last minute, right? It was the last set of wings, and he and Startic actually had to overtake Glorious to qualify here.
Right. Yes.
And it was like in the morning. It was 4-5 a.m. when that happened. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it was crazy, and he was sweating for this.
So like, as an SWC player, like that's at times when you're like when you have to be active, like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, still going strong, still pushing for it.
If you didn't put the effort before to make like you can reach a secure spot where you know that they won't push above that, because let's say you're like ranked 4-3, like 20 points above the others, and then that in the last 2 days, that probably they will not go overtake you. But yeah, in this case, it was very, very close.
So obviously Rose is going to play against another strong German player, although you would sometimes say like he's kind of like the quiet giant, like with a strong, like a lot of energy to it when it comes to his plays and a lot of strategy. I heard from him like he also like really thinks a lot about his drafts and about, I mean, same as everybody, kind of like, but he like really is going deep dive, which is Neff actually. So Neff is obviously a strong player. Like we saw him winning actually the 2v2 tournament last year at Gamescom together with Ismo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So there is, I mean, he has it in him to win battles, and there's a reason he's here now. So Sean, like looking at the prelims and looking at the information we have of Neff here, what do you make out of it?
I think being someone that is not well known in the SBC scene or just among the audience can be quite a good thing, because less expectation, you feel less stress, and people don't know you as well compared to like Ping Roy, where there's so much data to just look at. I think that's great because you can just bring out things that nobody expects, and that's going to be awesome for him.
Right. So looking at the highlight from like Neff against Obabo, the battle of the arms. Like what like Sean, like keeping on with like talking with you about like what this highlight is made of, like what does it show for like Neff's playstyle?
I think he's also going for the meta-ish way of play, which is like bruiser, a lot of healing, and he's utilizing a sort of immunity unit that fell off the meta, which is Wusa, which can sometimes be really good when used in the right spot, because he also provides healing, damage, and especially the great protective ability that he brings to the table compared to just the immunity of Velaju. Or when combined with Velaju in a position where Pafix didn't really have a lot of strip, can become the most perfect protection team that you can use. And he got the win even against Julian and Tian Lang.
So that shows like kind of like I wouldn't say underdog in terms of like everybody deserved his spot, but like we can count, like we should put him on the paper for potentially like making it even maybe in the finals or a third place match, right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah,
I think I put him for my predictions. I think I have him on third place.
So I see already a strong battle in the prediction battle at the end we are going to have.
I'm going to say this, like I put him there. Obviously, he's also a friend of mine. Rosie is also a friend of mine. I think this one is a huge 50-50. I think this one is a really close one. It can go either way. I don't think Neff has an upper hand or Rosie has an upper hand. I think this is going to be a very interesting match to look at as well.
Yeah, right. Especially, I think also like I think Rosie and Neff, like they've played a lot of times against each other, so they know their drafts, right? Yeah. They know what they're up against, so that can like make a deciding factor, right?
Yeah.
So looking at the next player, I mean, obviously it's Stardig, like the newcomer for SWC. We didn't see him before, but he actually left a strong impression. So Obabo, like Stardig, like did you play? I think you played against him, right, in the prelims?
I didn't play against him in the prelims, but I've faced him a couple times on ladder and stuff.
So looking at his information, what do you say about Stardig? Like what is his like strong point? How did you make it into the finals?
Yeah, I mean, for me, just looking at the units, it looks like a lot of stuff that I used to like to use, and a bunch of even stronger LDs, so I think that looks really good.
I think he's the only player who's playing at the moment, at least in the EU, he's playing the light occult girl.
Yeah.
So does that unit bring so much utility and so much like winning power to the match once he's picking that?
For sure, because I think that's like one of the units that are like it's. I would say that it's pretty consistent in what it does, but at the same time it also has that like X factor where it can just take any game into its own hands and just win single-handedly. So I think. Yeah. So you have like so you have a pretty strong unit in the draft, and at the same time it can also just bring you back from basically any situation.
So also one thing that is like why Laura is so good, like she can outspeed you at the same time, even on a violent set because of the high base 120, and also like if you pick her early in the draft, you can like really well transition into turn 2 as well with her because she's super strong, giving 2-turn defense buff as well, dealing a lot of damage. So like she basically you can first pick her and then transition whatever you want to do, like turn 1, turn 2, and that's what makes her like insanely strong.
That's also the reason probably like she was like banned right away for this matchup. But actually, you see, like even without her, Stardic has the power to like just go strong. Although we can see it's got a pretty close one for this one. But nevertheless, he made it into the finals. So Sean, like looking at his roster and his drafts, do you think, because in the match, I think he's gonna be up against Scribble. Do you think Stardic with his units and the LD units he's having the upper hand, or does have Scribble to be hot again and just win the match right away?
I think it's going to be another 50-50 because I actually managed to look at his rune yesterday in secret, didn't want to show everybody.
Okay.
And the rune's looking very incredible. He's probably has one of the best Swift set in the entire game. So, and his Violent set looking really, really scary as well. So this is going to be a very tough 50-50 here. Or maybe it's going to win 3-0. You never know, right?
Yeah, right. Actually, like talking about like his super strong speed runes, Martz told me like he looked at his runes well. He like barely saw like such a strong rune power in terms of like his speed. So, you never know. But Stardic has definitely upper hand. Can have the upper hand. But there's also Scribble, who made it into the finals, being also one of the fan favorites. We saw in the chats, like whenever he played, chat was like, "Oh my God, Scribble!" But I mean, there has to obviously be more to like fan favoritism. So, Apps, what do you say? Like looking at Scribble, you see the double robo. I think maybe he kind of tried to force his way with double robo during the prelims, but
yeah,
it's a strong draft.
Yeah, so actually that's one of the reasons, actually, one of the root causes of that 50-50, like either being on or off, like hot sort of thing. And actually you see this a little bit with even Stardic, is that a lot of the hard turn 1 drafts, things that take, like turn cycling, all that into account, like those are ones where like, you land it or you don't. And actually, I think this will be kind of interesting. It's a super cool opponent in Stardic, actually, for a round 1, is that if they're both taking this hard turn 1 stance, like it's going to be like who gets the first turn, or like, what's especially you're going to see is like a hard turn 1 into a turn 2 pivot, and then it's like kind of like how do those two things like bounce off of each other? Like does someone like force hard turn 1 and et cetera? And I think will be one of the more interesting things we'll see with Scribbles. He actually has some really good like turn 2 or anti-turn 1 units, like especially whenever he's playing like Valk, or he's playing like even Burgild as a potential like turn 1 counter. That they're, it's basically you're injecting some RNG into the match, but also still giving you that turn 1 sort of like fighting stance kind of a thing. I think that's what it's going to come down to, is like how do those things land? Do we get pushbacks on important units? Like that sort of stuff is going to be really, really important, and it's really hard to predict that ahead of time. Like Burgild especially is like very inconsistent depending on how she's being used, but can also take over a match. So it's like
So you would say Scribble is kind of like the player that like high risk, high return?
Yeah, like on ladder especially, like he's pretty well known for playing like that hard turn 1 style where you don't pivot and you just take matches over. But he's been practicing like turn 2 pivots and that sort of thing a lot more recently. So it's anybody's. I mean, I haven't seen it. It's anybody's guess which style he decides he wants to play tomorrow. So.
So, Obabo, looking at like how Scribble played all the matches in the prelims before, obviously he won. He made it into the finals. Do you think he needs to like change his strategy and like or really try to like go with the strategy he had before and hope for the best?
I'm a little bit mixed because I do think he played pretty well during the prelims, but obviously he also made it in as a replacement player. He didn't actually win his 2 matches, but I still think he like put up a strong showing. Like he definitely could have won those matches and qualified. So I guess it's up to him to decide if he felt like that was comfortable enough, or if he should like change his strategy to something maybe more consistent.
Right. And Sean, like looking at the matches from Scribble from your side, what would you like? What would be your like take? What would you tell him like to do to like how increase his chances to actually win the match against Stardic?
I think what he did against Ismu was pretty cool, because I think Stardic is going to rely on his LD a lot and a lot of damage output kind of team. And I think people forget that Nana exists at some point in this current meta. So I think him utilizing Nana and Akroma earlier against Ismu that got him his big 3-0. I think that's where he could like revisit and saw what he did and maybe utilize that against Static.
So, we heard there's going to be a very interesting match, like can be 50-50 for both, but we're not at the end yet. There are still two players, and starting with Glorious, actually. So, Glorious made it finally into the Europe Cup. Yes, he's going to play from home. Unfortunately, well, that's kind of like nothing he can do against anything, like because visa and the embassy making it a hard time for him. But we're still crossing fingers for him because he definitely deserved his spot.
Look at his words to your opponent players here. Be aware the Camocopter is here to destroy you.
Well, he wrote it himself, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's I mean,
That's his take to
Yeah.
the viewers, right? Or to his opponent players.
But actually, like already, like Rax already being on it, like. Does Glorious have like a very good chance? Is he strong enough to like power through, or would you say like it can be like it's, again a 50-50, especially if he's gonna play against Hanselot in the first match?
I think this one is it's very dependent on the preparation both players do. This one. Because like obviously Hanselot has a lot of strong LDs. Glory has like a lot of the meta, like really good ones as well right now. But I think Hanselot is even like Hanselot is known to be like the fastest player basically. So, like, Glory cannot fully rely on his turn 1 playstyle, what he usually loves to play. And we will see, like, because this is basically a rematch from the preliminary, right? And we will see if Hanselot this time bans out the Tian Lang. I think Glory can be having a hard time this one.
So looking at the highlight here, it said Rax, you said like a rematch. So Apps, looking at the rematch, like right now, this time obviously Glory won that match. We know that because like that's the reason we have that highlight in. But looking at the draft and like what is he playing? Like, is that Glory's playstyle? Is that like how he's gonna try to win?
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, a big thing is that Glory does do a hard turn 1, but he, like, especially on ladder, he has like this pretty hard turn 1 style, but he has a couple of really good, like, reactive anti-turn 1 LDs. Obviously, like, Tian Lang is big. It's still, like, super strong, like, for countering people who are trying to take turn advantage, but he also has Volantis. He didn't really use it here, but, I mean, again, like, overpoweringly strong. I don't want to say overpowering, because actually, right now, in general, in the meta, most LDs are not actually that, like, they don't typically have a super high win
Look,
rate.
this is a great winning picture.
But yeah, like the fact that Glory has a strong turn 1 and has TL and a couple other really strong turn 2s, I think that's what going to be the big threat. Is it's like there's going to be a mind game on especially during the ban at the end. Like, you know, am I banning the turn 2 like counter? Am I banning like the turn 1 like setup? Like whichever one there. Like, yeah, I think a lot is going to come down to the draft. Actually, because like I believe Han just wins if you just take, you know, if you just threw down who has the best Swift set, Han wins. But it's not going to be who has the best Swift set. It's going to be a lot on the draft.
Talking about Han, like that's one of your signature units, but nevertheless, like playing against Glory yourself, would you think like making it against Hanselot, like? So we already heard it cannot be a battle against like for speed for first turn because you're probably gonna lose that first round. But who do you think? What does Glory need to do?
I think Rax was going into that a lot with the like how they prepare for their matches, because everyone knows that Hanselot is fastest, but Glorious is also up there with the speeds. So depending on like how they decide to like place their Swift runes, that could make the difference. Make the difference as well with the base speeds. Like if there's a 3 base speed diff, maybe Glory just randomly outspeeds. So it could come down to stuff like that, but I also think both of them are probably going to slow down as well, because I think they're both like respecting each other's speed in that sense. So it's probably going to like start out speedy, but then they're both going to like slow down a bit towards the end of the drafts.
So we might be seeing a match where both are not trying to be win the speed lead match, but actually like trying to like slow down and potentially go more defensively.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, unless like someone already commits in the first few picks to like go fully slow. Otherwise, we're probably going to see a mix like that where they both like slow down to the end of the draft.
Then last but not least, we already heard, like you already mentioned, Hanselot being the fastest player, potentially. But being the fastest player doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win all the time. But obviously, Hanselot is a strong player. He deserved his slot. He actually, with the rule we're having, last year, he made it into third place. So last year, with the new rule, he would have made it to the World Finals, right? So there's a reason like people have him on the sheet, right? Sean, looking at Hanselot's like monster picks and the matches before. What do you think? What can we expect of Hanselot to do now?
I think he has one of the newer, more popular LD5 that a lot of people are using is the Light Twin Angel, which allow him to open up with strip and attack buff, which also open up with a lot of different like snipe strategy that is probably going to be better than trying to pray for violent procs to bruiser out. And I fight him a lot on ladder, and every time it's just very, very scary because his team is always packed with a lot of damage compared to the usual style that you fight a lot, which is like the bruiser style. So I think it's gonna be very interesting to watch, and I kind of see what he's gonna cook.
So seeing what he's gonna cook up, maybe like looking at the match racks, like he played against Nicer Smicer. So Hanselot, I think we see a speed lead trying to go for the first turn match here, but is that what we should expect from him to try to like force his way through all the matches?
No.
We already talked about the first one, but afterwards,
Like seeing this match, exactly this one right now, I don't think that's what we should expect, because he's not gonna try and play like this against Glory. Like he's playing like this against Nicer Smicer because he knows like he's gonna be faster than that, and he has a very, very good LDs to deal with like simply only turn 2 players like Penis. Nicer Smicer.
well, yeah, that's his nickname in game.
Yes. So he has like very, very good LDs to deal with this, right? So yeah, like we will see a different Hanselot against Glorious.
Yeah,
pretty sure. Than that, like what we just saw in the highlight here.
Right. So we heard like lots of players gonna have like different play styles, maybe not gonna play the way they played themselves into the actual cup, to mix things up, and to also prepare for the World Finals, because we know playing the meta in Europe doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be you have like the strongest of chances in the World Finals, but nevertheless, if they're all going to be able to adapt, we're going to be probably seeing a very, very interesting Europe Cup tomorrow, with like everything potentially be open for until the finals. So it's probably a hard time to predict. Maybe it's for at least for some matches going to be easy, and we're going to look and we're going to pick together now our group pick or our like group expectation for tomorrow's cup that's starting. So we already know we're going to start with the first match being Pinkrod against Ismo. So if we're able to look at the draft exactly at the bracket now. So first match. Well, it's hard to see for the chat right now.
It is.
Yeah,
right?
but first match, we all know what it is. It's going to be Pinkroyd and Ismo.
Yeah.
We talked about it in depth already. Nevertheless, Rax, you brought up you have Ismo on your table for the next match. So you want to stand by that?
So the thing is, as I said before, right? If Ismo is going to play well and to the strongest he's possible, I think he has like even a little edge in this match. Even though Pinky's like the best drafter, I think overall, like if not even in the entire game. So I think if Ismo plays well and to his strong points, he can definitely beat him 100%. That will be not like this will be not a easily decided match for sure.
So Sean, hearing what Rax just said, what direction would you lean into?
As a Pink Roy fanboy, I pick Pink Roy out of fanboyness. But I think it's going to be, for SWC or just Subnauts in general, it's going to be 50-50 for everybody, because you can outdraft, you can also get resisted, you can also get just all the bad luck possible. So I think you just pick the player that you maybe enjoy watching or just support personally. So I pick Pink Roy.
So we have one Ismo, one
Pinkroyd,
out of fan fantasies.
Okay, then I also have to pick Pinky now.
So 2, we already have heard 2. So Obabo.
I mean, I think since like Ismo easily 3-0'd me in the prelims, I would say that Pinkroyd should be very easy. Like history doesn't matter at all. He's just gonna walk over him. So yeah, I would put Ismo.
You would put Ismo?
Yeah, for the second round.
Oh damn! We have a Pingroid. So we're actually gonna have both players being in the next round. So Apps, you're gonna like where are you gonna lead to? Because then if you what you decide, I'm gonna be the one with the deciding opinion. For that.
So I'm going to take the decision away from you. I personally think Pinkroyd, and I'm not even necessarily going to come down on the match tomorrow, but just the consistency is that like a lot of people like play their LDs. And Pinky, it's like it almost feels like he doesn't care about any particular monster. He just like something comes out that's just like the perfect counter, and it feels like he does it every time. And I don't know. For that reason, I think it's got to be Pinky.
So we have 3 against 1. So Pinkroyd for now for our tip is going to go into the next round. Maybe not so surprising. Maybe so. I mean, I'm not going to move in for my personal opinion because I'm biased as a German fanboy. I mean, obviously, I'm going for Ismo, but my opinion is not the deciding factor here. So we decided for Pinkroyd for the first match in the semifinals. Obviously, next match, again, can go both ways. But starting with Apps now, like, Rosit or Neff, like the old champion making his return.
I don't know. Like so this one actually is a harder decision for me, even because like at least to me, Rosit feels like like a Giga Brain player, and so I kind of just expect him to win. But at the same time, like Neff is super duper strong, and I really like his play style. I mean, actually, I think I'll go Neff. You're
going Neff. Yeah.
Rosie, I think, is the stronger player, like on the ladder, but I think Neff is going to win tomorrow.
Damn, like a hot take now.
Yeah.
Are you following up with the hot take, Obabo? What do you say?
No, I have the coldest take. I think Rosit is probably going to take it. I mean, both of them are strong. I think this is probably like one of the most interesting first turn matchups as well. But I feel like from what I've seen in the prelims, like Rosit has shown some good adaptation. I think you also have to respect because even though he hasn't played for a few years now, he's still like one of the most decorated EU players. So you have to like consider that as well.
Right. I mean, he never stopped really playing. You just
I just mean like in the SWC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have a 1-1 now. So SeanB, it's for you to decide. Is it Neff? Is it Rosie?
I think I'm gonna pick Rosie because simply for the fact that when I was restreaming the EU prelim, and he was just like I was just calling out all the draft, and he was just drafting exactly how I would say it, and that was like, wow, amazing! I love it. So he's like me for real, you know.
So you have a second you, so he has to win.
So
right?
he's like me in EU prelim. It's amazing. So I'm gonna pick Rosif just out of
But he doesn't have Gianna.
Oh yeah, he could be better too. He could be summoning Gianna today.
I mean, who knows?
Maybe
we saw
he has
that.
it already.
yeah, you know.
Like oh yeah, surprise pick in the Europe Cup. But well, now we have Rosie kind of like having like one more like fan here. Rax, what do you say?
I think this is like the biggest 50-50 we have out there for this UU Cup, like for the first matches. I'm going to go Neff, so it stays 50-50.
Oh, so Neff Rosie stays 50-50.
Yeah. I think this matchup deserves a 50-50 because it's really going to come down to some little things. Who like is prepared better in the matchups? Who has like the better answers to not having the Rector, which they're both very used to, right?
Right.
So, and then which one is adapting better playing without the Rector here, I think. That's a lot what it comes down to in this matchup.
So looking at like we're 50-50 at the moment. Well, then it's probably maybe on me to decide, but for me it's like more fanboyism than actually it. So now I'm going to play the German bias card here right now. So I'm gonna say Nev is Megan. Although Rosie, I'm very sorry. I love you, man. And it was wonderful to congratulate. Actually, Rosie had birthday yesterday. It's like a birthday SWC here right now. We have Sean birthday today. Rosie yesterday. 222 today as well, right? So yeah, so. Sorry guys, I call dips now on Neff. So first semifinals is Pinkroyd against Neff. Could be the other way around, like Neff Pinkroyd against Rosie, but we decided on Neff. Well, I decided on Neff in the end, but maybe it's going to be a bit more, let's say, a bit more straightforward with the next match or not. So Sean, what do you say? Starting
final?
Oh, no, for starting and Scribble.
Yeah, I think as I said before, it's going to be the greatest. For me, it is going to be the 50-50 in this tournament because both have very strong LDs, both can have amazing runes. But I think I talked to Static yesterday, and he was really confident. I was like, "Yo, you're gonna beat Scribble," and he's like, "Easy, 3-0." So thanks because of that, I'm gonna pick Static for this one.
Showing the balls before. So Apps, what do you say? Scribble just has to be hot, and he's gonna.
Scribble's like Antares.
That's the problem. I haven't talked to Scribble today, so I don't know where his mental's at, like how he's playing. Like as potentially the luckiest player on the bracket, I'm gonna go Scribble.
You're gonna go Scribble. Okay, so he's gonna use his luck to.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think if they were given equal RNG, I think Stardic would be favored. I think Scribble's gonna walk in there and just have outrageous RNG, and we're all gonna be like, "What? It's not fair."
So looking at Obabo's reaction at the moment, would you go with like, okay, you're gonna like just luck your way into the semifinals? I mean, obviously he's deserving it. I mean, he's strong enough to like put it in. But what is your take?
I don't really know who will win. I'm just pretty confident that it's going to be like a 3-0 on either side. I feel like this is probably the matchup where it's the most likely.
Yeah. So now, Rax, you were actually the deciding factor this time because Obabo is kind of like.
Who did you pick?
None. Both can be.
I
can
mean,
do it.
I will pick Scribble in my heart, you know. So if that counts.
So then we're back to a 50-50 again. So let's say Obabo didn't really pick one yet. So Rax, what do you say?
That's okay. Let him pick Scribble.
Then pick Scribble, and you're gonna pick?
So
Yeah,
I would
okay,
love
so-
to pick Scribble because I would like Scribble to win. But I think, like, even with the confidence, when Sean was talking to Static, I think like room-wise, he's like a big edge. And if he plays it well with like all these really good LD5s and his playstyle, I think there's big issues for Scribble. Like for his usual stuff, he can't play that, and then he has to fully adapt. I think Static has like a slight edge in this one.
So we're again back to 50-50 now. I'm you know what? I'm going to take the responsibility off of my shoulders now. So Sean, now after hearing all the words for Scribble and against Stardic, who do you go with last?
You know what? Even though I said Static, because Scribble is going to the EU Cup with a lady, so that's going to be the power of friendship and romance right there. So he's going to text the cake for sure. I think that's going to be the boost of extra RNG right there. You know, like win it for me, Scribble, and then it's like, all right, lock in, you know.
So we locked in Scribble now because of this deciding factor that he is having, as we just heard. Okay, last deciding quarterfinals match. Who's going to move into the semifinals? Is it Glorious? Is it Hanselot? We heard speed maybe is not the deciding factor in this matchup here right now. So, Obabo, what do you say? Damn,
I mean,
50-50 again.
I mean, I don't want to say 50-50. Actually, I think Glory's going to take it.
Glory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Okay, maybe I should expand, but I feel like, I mean, Glory did beat him 3-0 in the prelim, so there has to be like a factor going in. I do think Hansel will probably be more nervous. You also like have to consider a little bit that Glory is playing from home as well, right? Maybe there's a difference in pressure, and he's already done well against Hansel in the past. So yeah, I would probably have to say Glorious for this one.
Okay, Apps, knowing the history of those two.
I don't know. I actually think this one's like tough because like I do think Glory has a little bit of like an X factor, kind of like Scribble does, where like sometimes his RNG just goes nuts. But I feel like he might overplay his Swifts, and then Hanselot has a little bit of an edge. I don't know. I'm gonna go Han just because I think it may, for some reason, turn into a Swift fight.
Okay, so actually it's gonna be a Swift fight because both are gonna be saying like, okay, we're gonna full force. We know we are fast. So who's faster?
I think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
I mean, it may not. It could go completely the other way, but like that's my prediction.
So now, Sean, you gave the deciding bit for the first matchup. What is your take now?
I think it will be Glory because if it turns into a Swift fight, I'm going to pick the guy with the Tian Lang last pick, probably.
True.
So I think that's going to be the one for me. It's going to be Glory with also obviously a bit less stress playing from home compared to Hanselot has to be here and has to deal with the crazy crowd that's going to happen tomorrow at SWC EU Cup. So I'm going to be picking Glory for this one.
So Rex, now what would you say? Like maybe the upper hand for Glory because he can like.
Once he's finally able to participate in the cup, Glory's gonna win it.
Glory's going to go
He's
through?
gonna beat him again.
Okay, so based on history and based maybe on the deciding factor that he's maybe able to play in a environment he knows better, Glory has gonna have the upper hand now for this wonderful circle of pros that we're deciding now for Glorious to go on. So we have our semifinals.
One thing
Yes.
I think, like also like this motivation for him that he finally is able to play. Like after all these years, last year, this earthquake that prevented him from playing. I think if there's a time to take it, he will do it this year.
If there's one player who
Yeah.
deserved his slot and deserved to go
Yeah.
further, it's Glory. Okay, we can totally go with that. Totally understandable. So, as said, we have our semifinals now. I mean, for us, we'll see tomorrow. But Pinkroyd against Neff and Scribble Bibble against Glorious. So, starting with the upper one now. Pinkroyd against Neff. So, Apps, looking at
I mean,
the strength of Pinkroyd or the maybe Neff has some hidden secret cards.
I mean,
sleeve?
the logic I used for the first one, I think, holds strong in the second one. Like, you just if you have to bet, I think Pinky is the person you have to bet for. Like, and I mean, again, it could be 50-50, it could be slightly favored one way or the other, but based on past performance, you have to bet Pinky.
Sean, you're gonna go along with Pinky?
Yep. All the way.
All the way
From start to finish.
Yeah, we already heard it. Like Pinky Fanboy, he has to win for Sean. Yeah, in his heart, yes. So, already like praying for Pinky to make it to the finals. I mean, there's a high chance. Rex, what do you say?
Yeah, I already said it. Like if he beats Ismo, he wins the whole thing.
Yeah,
Easy one.
straightforward, right?
Yes.
Straightforward for you as well, Obabo.
Yeah, I mean, Pinky knows that I will be there in the crowd watching, so he's gonna put up a good fight and win.
You're just gonna put the pressure on Pinky.
Yeah.
Do not screw this up, man. Okay, so easy decision made faster. Sorry, Neff. I love you, but Pinky is probably going to be the upper hand. So
I love him too.
Yes, obviously we all do. Pinky is going to be the first one in the grand final to probably no surprise. Then let's go on with the. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go with Pinky for the first grand final player, and now we're gonna. what is I'm gonna move phones now. That is all in the plan. It is part of this program.
If you're curious, this is where they load the LD5s.
Psst, don't say that out loud. So going back to our bracket, which is obviously way more interesting than losing your phone during the stream. Next part is who's gonna make it to the finals against Pinky? Is it Scribble or is it Glorious? So Rex, probably easy for you. Said, hey, Glory deserved it to go further. So it's gonna go to next and go into the finals, same as Pinkroyd.
I mean, I think so. Yes, I think Glory would beat Scribble there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Okay, then we have Glory here. Sean, what do you say?
Yeah, once again, I think if Scribble's biggest strength is going to be Berkhill, then the Glory Tian Lang is going to be quite a problem for him. And I think I'm going to be picking Glory for the second place. Yeah.
So two pros already signing for Glory to make it further. Apps, are you holding against it or are you going with the flow?
No, I'm gonna go Glorious mostly because Scribble was in P3 2 days ago. So
oh no.
So I'm just, I mean, consistency. I always go most consistent, and Glory is I never see Glory drop to P3. I'm just saying.
I mean, he dropped to G1 not long ago, so I don't think, but yeah, not P3 at least.
He's hiding replays.
So, Obabo, what do you say?
Yeah, no, this one is tough. I would love for both of them to lose, or both of them to win. I mean, so it's hard. This is really hard.
I mean, they can both win, right? If just Scribble beat Neff.
Okay,
maybe.
I think it's pretty easy to decide, right? So Glory is not here, so he cannot win the whole thing. So
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So we have Pinkroyd against Glorious now as our final decision, or not? I think.
No, I think Scribble should be, so we have the final.
On stage.
Yeah.
So it looks cool.
So it looks cool.
That's important for me.
So counting the votes now, we have Glory, we have Glory,
Yeah.
and we have Scribble. So unfortunately,
I mean, he got eliminated before and made it in, so we could just put Scribble anyway.
He just makes it again into the finals, right? Oh, he's out. Oh, he's in again. Okay, so Obabo being overruled by the majority of people here, so we're gonna have a glorious finals, potentially against maybe winning against the champion for last years, but that means if Pinkroyd and Glorious are in the grand finals, that means we have the match against for the third place against Neff and Scribblebibble. So it's not like they're not having a final match now, right? So talking about, let's say, start with the third place match, right? Scribble against Neff. Sean, what do you say?
This one is I have no idea. I'm really unsure about this one because I think they're both very new to SWC, so I think it's gonna be 50-50 for sure for me. So I can't really tell what is gonna happen for these two.
So Sean is like, hell no, I'm not gonna vote for anyone.
Well, you have to vote Scribble then because of the.
True. Then we have to vote for Scribble then.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously clear thinking here, and we're gonna go on with Rax. You're gonna go with that opinion of Scribble making it into the World Finals. Although actually being a replacement player, to be honest, if you look at how Rosa did it in the end for 2019, he was a replacement player being drafted into the cup and then made it to the strongest European player also in the world. So everything is possible, right? But Rex, what do you say?
I think so. It was a very close match in the prelims, right? It was 3-2, Neff against Scribble. It's a tough one to pick, but I think Neff wins.
Neff wins. Strong giant Neff wins against Scribble. So we have one deciding pick now. Apps, what do you say?
I'm the deciding pick?
No. We have still Obabo.
Okay.
Well, Sean was like, probably not going to.
Honestly, I kind of think between those two, I think I'm going to go Neff. Scribble, I think that the biggest issue is that unless Scribble has a rerune, where he can reload, he's going to be set up for fighting Han, and then I think Neff's playstyle will be different enough that I think he'll have I don't think his rune depth is high enough that he'll have a really good plan for both of them, and I think it'll show up here. If he makes it this far, I think he'll have an issue.
Yeah, it's it's even the third match then, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said, the rune depth, it will be a problem for this, yeah.
What do you say, Obabo? Do you go along?
Okay, so I think so my reasoning for this one is depending on if Scribble loads up into the game with either blue stars or red stars. That's gonna be, that's gonna be the difference maker for me. So question is how likely is to get one or the other for me. So how likely is it that he's still P3 tomorrow, or if he's still in Guardian? That's gonna be the.
So what do you say? How likely it is?
Yeah, I don't know how likely it would be for him to be Guardian or not, but I have faith in him. So I will go with Scribble.
So we have one, possibly Scribble, you said, right? Neff, Scribble. So actually, do we want to include the chat for the deciding factor? What does chat actually say?
I know what chat is going to say.
Well, you're going to know what chat is going to say?
Yeah, Scribble.
Okay, chat. What are you going to say? Who should we decide? Because we cannot really decide in the end. Who's going to make it into as the third place winner, making it as the first person into the Japan World Finals? I see a lot of Neff here.
I think it's. Okay, I think they lost faith in the Scribble because he's a P3 warlord now.
Yeah. You shouldn't have said that, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
So,
Scribble is washed.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
They lost it. They lost.
I think it was more Neff than Scribble,
Yeah,
right?
I also
So it's probably Neff then.
Yeah, it's probably Neff then. So let's kick it off with Neff. Neff be our third place winner, making it to Japan, learning journey for the World Finals, and then big finals. Who's gonna make it? Pinkroyd or Glory? 5th time in a row.
Look at what Gloria says. Come on, guys! I just checked community ranking. Scribble is G1, so.
Oh.
Today, that is.
Yeah.
Today, right? But Chet has spoken.
Yeah,
we have to listen to Chet. So Chet has spoken. We're gonna stick to Neff. So now the big finals: Pinkroyd or Glorious. Champion over champion over champion over champion, or actually Glorious being now the lucky one. No, Apps says
nope.
No, sorry. Impossible. Rex.
Think he wins.
Think he wins. Sean.
Do you need to ask
Yeah,
me?
yeah. Like, it's like, I need to ask you, but like, I can just turn around to Obabo already. So, pinky.
Roseth.
Okay, let's switch.
the top
Let's switch now. Roses is in there again. So we're gonna go with Pinky, to no surprise, being the strongest again. So actually, we do have our 3 participants now. If you want to, you can go along with the betting. The betting event is still going on in game at the moment. So if you want to go, Pinkroyd wins. Second place, Glorious, and Neff is third place. So our European players for the World Finals. Maybe we'll see everything tomorrow. By the way, I saw in the chat the stream is happening tomorrow at 2 p.m. CEST. That is, I think, well, if you take off 9
20
hours,
hours?
like 20 hours?
Yeah, somewhere.
I think
20 hours from now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely 2 p.m. CEST. And well, that is our bet. So we're gonna do our second and last merchandise raffle, which is this wonderful chess set in front of me. If you're not so lucky and not going to win one today, nevertheless, it's going to be in the shop by next week. So don't wait for it like it's going to be open up. This is the Summoners War chess. Isn't it looking gorgeous? And obviously, we know Summoners War players are strategic geniuses. So chess is obviously everything we're going to play in our free time. Yes. So we're going to have our event. You can look into the chats. For Sean and for Obabo, we're gonna fill out the form and we're gonna pick our winner, and we're gonna move on to our last section of today's stream. Our wonderful guest actually saved up a few scrolls, because how can you end a proper stream without having some decent lightnings and some properly, hopefully, units that you all don't have. Although I know your roster, there's not a lot of units you don't have, and especially the normal elements is probably gonna be like a handful, maybe. But we're gonna start with Apps and with Obabo doing their summoning session. So cross fingers for them today for some opening up some scrolls.
How do I do the eye?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna move it up. And the eye and start broadcast, and the eye is on now. Yes, and there we go.
All right. So I'll say ahead of time, I'm going to do 30 LDs or until lightning. Ooh. And so it's either going to be lightning in the chat when I get nothing, or we're going to see
Oh damn!
something.
Stakes are high. Oh, Baba, what is your aim? Is there any monster you would love to get, or you just take what you get?
I mean, I want this guy, Fire Megami.
Fire Megami, you don't have him yet.
No, and then there's also this guy that I'm eyeing. Where is he? This dude.
Oh,
so that would be
Dokebi Lord.
that would be a bit sussy if I get that one. We'll see.
So let's all cross fingers for some decent lightnings here, and I guess we can kick it off if you want to right now. Ched, what do you think? Lightning right away? Do we get some crazy new units?
All right, going down to 340.
Going down to 340. Let's kick it off.
I could do my regular scrolls at the same time, right? Yeah.
I think yeah.
Or are you doing simultaneously?
Yeah, we can do them because I'm just doing the regular scrolls.
Right. You can do it simultaneously. Exactly. We just have the focus on both sides. Wherever there's a lightning, we cannot miss it.
Well, there won't be any lightning over here, so.
Come on, of course.
If Comters is watching this, which obviously they are,
Wait a second. I'm who?
we need to skip this animation Obaba have to be looking at right now, because for such whales like them, then these animations need to be skipped. Yeah.
So, and actually, while the boys are gonna be summoning at the moment, we have the winner of the chess set. Rax, you want to actually name our wonderful winner?
Now Gojo?
Damn.
Only light Megumi.
Damn.
No, I'll take it down to 340.
I mean, you have them already, right?
Huh? Yeah.
I think we're going to announce the winner when the LD scrolls are done, right?
Oh, okay.
Wait, there it is.
All right.
Wait, what is that? No, it's.
It's not the
you haven't. Yeah, right.
It was
yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
almost like the right element already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see a wheel. Got 11 more.
So you gotta make it. You already had the lightning, so it's just can't come rolling, right, Apps? But actually,
I'm just going down to 340. I'm going to do the 30.
just overall, what is? I heard like you and Rax, you have like a tradition already, like since like the last 2 years. What is that about, Rex? Like what tradition do you have?
Like that's basically it started the EU Cup 2022. Like we met up like right before the EU Cup in Abzi's Airbnb, Pinky, me, and him, and then we just did like a little summon session, and yeah.
Wow.
We got LD5s
Ah, well.
there last year as well in Paris, and so
Yeah.
we
Still
kept
good.
it. We always gonna do summons, like save LDs up for
there it
the
is.
EU Cup, and then right before do them.
Aw.
So that means every time you had an LD5.
First one, like in 2022, Epsi got Asima, and last year I think Pinky got Benedict, and Epsi got Dupe Isis.
Dupe Isis. And then I turned that into a Zeratul like the next day, but
Yeah.
No, wait, was Isis the dupe or what?
yeah, the Dupe Isis.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. Like, yeah, dupe Isis. Okay.
Yeah, but
Wait, you don't want to keep a dupe Isis for whatever.
You can't use. I don't want the first one.
Okay, Obabo, like being lucky now, you trying to get still fire Megumi, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And crossing fingers for Obabo now for the last summons. How many do we have left? Okay, it's gonna be
the
a win.
LDs and the
He got
Cool stuff,
8 LD scroll for his
You got
Yes.
eight.
Veronica.
and look 5 all attributes.
Damn.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh. Oh, it wasn't an LD, right? It was
No,
an
no, no.
elemental? Yes, okay.
Thankfully.
So, Abs, you still have like how many left? Like
I have.
3,
I
4?
should have 370 if you include the extras and then the all attributes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that'll be tonight. I'm gonna hope to at least record it if I can't stream it. I brought stuff to at least record it so that people will get to watch it later.
Right.
I may or may not be able to do that, or I may not be able to stream it. Just depends how the setup works.
Right.
But that will hopefully be a thing people can watch later.
So, like, if you stream it, you're gonna stream it on your Twitch channel?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means if you're gonna want to tune in tonight, where do you have to tune in?
So it'll be at just like my Twitch channel, which is just apps APZE, and then so that'll be either tonight in approximately like 4 or 5 hours,
Right.
Or it'll be if I don't go live tonight, then it'll come out on like YouTube in like an edited format in some way.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be live, you're gonna see an LD unit tonight for sure.
I mean, I've seen 400 disappear on somebody's stream before. So
Who could have?
Who could have done
Yeah,
such
who
a
could have
bad
done
thing?
that?
it's
Yes.
happened to a few people, I think.
I think we have like 2 people, right?
Many have been there before.
So you never know. I mean, again, the odds are for me, but
Right.
sometimes it doesn't come out that way. So
Okay, Obabo, like using his.
Yeah, here it is.
Here it is.
Here it is. But since the
Okay.
last years, like we always had an LD5 and this kind of stuff, right? Like
Oh,
Yes, always.
come on,
do it up.
Hard.
that was
come on.
Why not dark?
Oh, come on.
It
come on,
looks
come
laggy. Classic Subnautica moment.
on. Yeah, it's like lightning. Oh, oh,
10 years still hit the same.
yes.
Now's the meat
Oh,
potatoes.
let's see.
Let's see. Come on. There's a lightning still in there, right?
Somewhere.
Let's
No?
go. Let's get it.
Easy.
Sean, we need your like infinity glove now.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Oh, there it is.
What's it?
No.
Did you want to skip it?
One more. Yeah, but just to like surprise you guys.
Oh,
So,
damn.
Everyone's acting like ACOG.
Come on. There's one lightning in there still, right?
The ragdoll is hiding.
Push the button.
Here it comes.
Here it
Under the table,
comes.
under the
Come
table.
on.
Under the table.
Table, push the button. Lightning activated. Come to us, Bob. It's there. Yeah.
Pressing it.
Too
no.
late. It was too late. Okay. Okay, then we only have a few minutes left. Like a few scrolls from you guys, and we're actually going to close it in because actually afterwards, this thing we have NDI on. Yes. And NDI is on for Sean now. Wait a second. We have to just switch screen. And there
also,
we go.
we need to do the winner, right?
Yeah, we can. Wait, Rex, please.
Yeah, the winner from SeanB's channel, and it's Aravis.
Arvis, congratulations from SeanB's channel. You're gonna win this wonderful, crazy chess set. It's looking awesome. So Aravis, we're gonna contact you via email by next week. So definitely look into your email. Potentially also look into your spam folder, because if you write, "Hey, you want something," sometimes emails think, well, that can only be spam. So maybe the chess set stays here. Maybe.
It's not Sean B. I'll send it to them.
Oh, right. SeanB is gonna take it to you. Right. Yes, of course.
A lot of paperwork has to be done in between.
Okay, we have just a few minutes left for some last scrolls. So we're gonna use, as usual. We said before, right, Sean? You're gonna let the others use their scrolls, so the luck goes on you and the
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
That's how he rolls. Sean revealed his secret for summoning all the crazy LD monsters. So let's kick it off. What is the monster you want to have most at the moment, Sean?
I don't know. It could be Light Striker. That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So right now I'm in a Comters building using the Comters Wi-Fi next to a Comters staff. So he's gonna press the first scroll, you know?
Damn. Okay, come on.
I want to see how
The,
rigged
the,
this
the
is.
birthday.
That'd be
You know,
great.
I have to be biased. I cannot make the lightning happening here right now.
All right, I wouldn't mind this. You know, that'd be great.
Oh yeah.
Complete the family.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Cool.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
There it is.
Ah,
No, the
okay.
classic.
The classic, yeah.
Okay.
Left Nobara.
You got that before.
Wait, another one. Okay, there it is.
It's
Actually,
spinning.
There it is. Oh, Nobara again, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oops.
Because it can only be Nobara, right?
Oh, it's spinning again.
What the hell? What's going on?
It's
And
the
Nobara
birthday
again.
light.
No.
It's Megami this time.
It's Megami this time.
I still don't have any UG, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, Yuji?
That'd be great.
yeah,
Yeah.
dark one.
The dark.
Oh, yeah.
I just why start low? Just aim for the sky, right?
Oh, maybe something's happening.
Come on.
What is that? Oh, not this one.
Yeah.
Not
That's
that one.
I mean, it is Yuji, right?
The 5-star one.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting.
right.
Oh, no, there's
I want to
still-
use
the
my
start
skill up
quest.
somehow.
Come on.
Come on. Wow.
And
There's no way I
that's
don't
a lot of
get one
circles.
5-star and all
Yeah, I think
10,
we're always
right?
getting circles here. That's
Just the
the.
class.
Turns out it's just bad
Oh.
Wi-Fi.
No. Was no Dockerby Princess, right? For you, Rex, just now? Right?
There was Dockerby Princess.
yeah, right, okay.
And then into two JJK ones.
You still have 2 JJK ones?
No. Into it.
Yeah, lightning. Did we already have back-to-back lightning?
Can we get like a net 5?
Yeah. Just like tap net 5 in the chat. That usually boosts chances.
I really need Fire Ezio for
Fire
I can
Ezio?
actually farm artifacts right side quickly. I really
Yeah,
need him.
like iterate on that one. Like what is the advantage for him to use?
Like if you have him, like you can make a very consistent, like slightly below 20-second average team for that,
Right.
which is fairly safe. So even if you like a few units
Oh,
per,
there it is.
Oh, come on, Sean.
Oh, it's not Sylvia.
I mean, that's good. That's good. That is not Sylvia.
yeah, and artifacts, is it's like a thing a lot of people overlook, and
Right.
very important, like because you can increase your account massively by not even farming for that long.
So you wouldn't say artifacts is not only to just build the meta, but artifacts you should actually look into artifacts early on already.
yes,
Yeah.
you should.
What is it's say early mid game players into mid game that are can.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
That's
Come on,
L5,
come
no?
on, come on!
No, stop Bella! No!
Oh, wrong one.
Oh,
Wrong color.
No
Oh.
way.
Monkey business.
But you would say, Rex, which stats would you go for? Like, let's say, if you don't want to, build for meta teams, but what is the stats?
Like if you're looking into right side artifacts, like the accuracy skill 1, 2, 3 is very important, and also like air damage lines always, of course. Like Adi was like 4 air damage lines or very high air damage lines. And then for the right side as well, recovery skill 3 is important for support units. It's a very big deal. Yeah, recovery skill 1 for certain units, since the puppeteers got buffed. It's very strong on them.
Right.
And then for the right side, the right side is not that much you need. It's mostly like add damages and then the recovery and the
Right.
accuracy stuff. That's the most important one. But like also crit damage, first turn crit damage is very huge now since they added this. So like one with a high first turn crit damage and then other lines then own turn crit damage more or less. These ones are very important.
So you heard it. Like, don't skip on the artifacts for sure. Like, they're overlooked actually, and just go for it because they can make it. Sean, could it be?
We tried.
We tried. now that you see Sean using up all his luck, it is probably your time to go for the LDs because now somewhere has the LD has to drop, right?
Is it?
Yes,
Yes.
of course. At least latest tonight, right, Apps?
Wow.
Yeah.
Later tonight.
Hashtag no pressure.
I'm not trusting the process.
So, guys, I think
Just three.
Yeah. What?
We're just
Okay, 3.
peer pressuring Rax to do 3.
Oh, come on, 3.
Oh,
easy.
no.
Come
Oh,
on,
no.
easy 3. Come on.
Come on.
There has to be
Okay.
one lightning, right?
Where are they? Where
Okay, Sean.
last
Okay,
Sean,
you're allowed
like,
to
yeah.
slurp one.
Oh,
Come on.
okay. Let me display this, on the screen. Just
Oh,
For a good
damn, this
matchup?
show
Yeah.
off. No, look at Dark Ojo. Okay, everyone. With this being said and being shown, I hope the lightning rate for you now can only turn better. And thank you everyone for tuning in, for watching today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the Europe Finals. I mean, I think we talked enough about it. You saw our draft, you saw our picks, you saw us discussing about who's gonna make it. Make up your own mind. Definitely watch tomorrow to see it live at 2 p.m. on our Twitch channel or on YouTube. Tune in tomorrow, and we're crossing fingers. So all the participants, thank everyone for watching. Thank you all of you for taking part and coming here to Berlin. And see you all latest tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.